God chose Moshe Rabbeinu to be the shepherd, the Roye Nemon, the trusted shepherd of Bnei Israel, when Moshe Rabbeinu was the shepherd of the actual flock of animals from his father-in-law. And when he showed such tremendous love and care for one single lost sheep, God says, he is my shepherd. Quality of a leader, quality of a Rebbe, quality of a Moshe Rabbeinu is that while simultaneously looking after the needs of the entire world, doesn't lose sight of the needs of the individual. Came across a beautiful story in the Daher magazine related by Mr. Yaakov Schiffman. And he says how in 1973 his father was diagnosed with a serious cancer and doctors didn't give any hope. But we never give up hope. Cousin suggested we go to the Rebbe for Yechidus, although we're not Chassidim, but we heard about the Rebbe and we got an appointment to come to Yechidus. Father, mother, my sister and myself, he says. I was a 16-year-old boy and we all came into the Yechidus room of the Rebbe. It was quite overwhelming of an experience, but my father walked over closer to the Rebbe's desk. They conversed whatever they conversed, and after a few minutes, it looked like the meeting is over and we were all getting ready to go out. Suddenly the Rebbe points to me, "Du bleib, you stay." I got frightened. What does the Rebbe want from me? But we did what he asked us to do. Everybody left the room and I stayed with the Rebbe in the room. And the Rebbe said, come closer. The Rebbe went over to the bookshelf, took out 2 Gemara's brachas. And he said, I want to share with you a little piece of Gemara. And I want you to know, your father is unfortunately very sick. B'derech hateva, there is no cure. But we don't give up hope. And he learned with me the Gemara, where the Gemara relates how Chizkiah Melech was very ill, and the prophet came to tell him that his days are numbered. Chizkiah said, I don't give up hope, and he went to daven. And the Rebbe learned with me this Gemara over and over and over, making sure that I understood. He pointed in the Gemara word by word. In fact, he asked me to come over in the one Gemara we learned together. He looked at me with such love. I've never experienced this love from anyone else. Here he saw that this is a little boy that needs not just a blessing. He needs fatherly love. And even more than that, he gave it to me. This love is with me the entire life. But the Rebbe wanted to make sure that I understand this Gemara, and to the point that I should be able to share it with my father. And the Rebbe said, your father will be depressed. You will be depressed. Remember what the Gemara says. We never give up hope, and we accept God's will. In fact, on the way home, I shared with my father the Gemara. My father broke down. And indeed, 2.5 months later, after reviewing this Gemara many a time, my father passed away. I became very depressed. But then I realized what the Rebbe told me. I took this Gemara, and throughout my life, I constantly reviewed this Gemara, and feeling, seeing this tremendous care and love from the Rebbe for a 16-year-old boy that has never been by the Rebbe, not a chassid of the Rebbe. I don't belong to the Rebbe's, so to say, army, but this is a Jewish kid, and the Rebbe cares for him, and the Rebbe gave this child what he needed that time, and what I needed throughout my life, he says. Throughout my challenges in life, and I had plenty of them, I always came back to this Gemara. And I always came back to this love that the Rebbe gave me. And if I am today, as he says, a happy father of many children and a beautiful family. It's all thanks to these Yechidus. Those 25 precious minutes the Rebbe took from his time and gave to me, and I say, thank you, Rebbe. This is the Shabbos before Yud Shvat. The 10th and the 11th of Shvat is when the Rebbe became Rebbe. Just about every one of us owes a thank you to the Rebbe. So let's say thank you to the Rebbe, but by doing what he's asking us. What does he want from us? We should welcome Mashiach. How? Another mitzvah, another good deed, more Avos Yisrael, more love. And indeed, the Shabbos Parshas Boy, we will all come with the Rebbe in the Beis HaMikdash, in the ultimate redemption. Good Shabbos.